So that's Anfield. Doesn't seem much wrong with the stadium to me. You'd wonder why they want to take a pub park, wouldn't you? And there's the park, where Liverpool FC bought their new stadium. But the park's used by so many different interests, if you like. As you can see there's a lady with her children walking the kids through the park, just like my kids used to go to Sefton Park. And this park brings many memories to me because 50 odd years ago I used to play football here quite regularly. And we'd come on a Saturday to play football in the Sunday School League. 1955, 53. But the game was called off through ice and rain, snow. We'd shoot across to whoever's playing at home, either Everton or Liverpool. And them days have long gone. We couldn't afford to go to watch Liverpool now. This is Mike Butler, one of the leading campaigners against this obscene planning application.
The first application, which was submitted in 2004, and then it was ratified in April of last year, 2006, was for it was to give them permission to build a 60,000 seater stadium. However, because there were strict conditions laid down, they were only allowed to allow 45,000 people in. So we argued that there was no reason for them to build a 60,000 capacity stadium because they've already got 45,000 with this existing one. Anyway, they were given permission, and the current stadium is 27 metres high at its highest point. The stadium that they have planning permission for is 44 metres high, but at its highest point it is 78.9 metres high, which is the height of the Liver building on the Mersey waterfront. And it's actually going to absolutely dominate the entire area. And in August of this year, they submitted a new planning application because, as most people know, we have new owners. We have American owners, George Gillette and Tom Hicks. They've decided they want an even bigger stadium. Now the new stadium, we have no idea how big it's going to be because the application hasn't got the details in. For some unknown reason, obviously they don't want us to see how big it's actually going to be, except I can say it's going to be massively bigger than the Liver building. Well, now of course it goes as far as Priory Road, it goes right down to Arkles Lane, and it comes right up to Mill Lane and overhangs Anfield Road. There's nowhere else for them to expand outwards, so it's got to go up. A lot of people think that the park was donated to the people of Anfield. It wasn't. It was bought by the City Council through the 1865 Parks Act.
Is that when it was bought, 1865?
1865, and it opened in May 1870, and it was paid back. They had to pay the money back to the government, and it was paid back over a 20-year period through public subscription and increased local taxation. And when it was opened in 1870, the Lord Mayor said, although there are a couple of other parks in Liverpool, no park deserves to be called the People's Park more than Stanley Park, because it was actually paid for by the people, so it actually does belong to the people and not the City Council as they maintain.
I'm just wondering whether if they did get permission to build one here, whether the other parts of the park would be affected.
I think it will undoubtedly be affected because what a lot of people don't seem to realise is the application is for the entire park. It is not for a small piece of the park, it is for the entire park. And also for them to lease the cemetery, which is a grade 2 listed cemetery just
well, I mean, my grandparents are in there, and also my father's in there. And there's also a grave of Blitz victims. I think there's 3,000 in one grave.
Because this is going to be a precedent, because a park, certainly a Victorian listed park, has never been given away for nothing before. And it's one thing to say that it's only going to be half the park, and the other half of the park is going to be fully restored. Well, this gigantic stadium is going to overshadow the other half of the park, and I don't believe 60 to 80 to 90,000 people, as is going to be expected in the future, in here every week. I don't think the greenery will be sustainable.
Yeah.
I think it'll be eroded, and then the football club will say, look, it's a mud tip, we'll do you a favour and we'll tarmac it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the future for Stanley Park, if we don't manage to stop this construction going ahead.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much for that, and let's hope that we can try and prevent it.
Let's hope.
Okay, thank you.
Voices of children on the neighbouring green grow fainter now beneath the ringing pick, and toil-worn eyes that brightened at the scene with dull amazement watch the piling brick. These ancient trees, condemned in fullest prime, whose wrinkled armour has defied the years, no more will battle with the blasts of time, or keep the confidence of lovers' fears. Beneath a cold grey canopy of stone, all that was ever growing green or fair shall be entombed, or crushed, or overthrown. There shall not be one touch of nature there. And why? Because our civic love is small. Commercial greed has cooled our patriot hearts.
And Liverpool City Council get the way, there'll only be one pitch on here. And that'll be for the multi-millionaires.